Chuck Norris, age 85, died. March 19, 2026. Born Carlos Ray Norris in Ryan, Oklahoma in March 1940, Chuck grew up the eldest of three brothers in a family that didn't have much. His father drove trucks and worked as a mechanic. His mother held the family together. When Chuck joined the Air Force after high school and was sent to Korea, nobody could have predicted what that posting would set in motion. It was there, in a quiet corner of East Asia, that he first encountered Tang Soo Do, and something clicked. He returned home and threw himself into martial arts with a focus that bordered on obsession. By 1966, he was almost impossible to beat. He won the World Professional Middleweight Karate Championship, the National Karate Championships, and a string of other titles, compiling a career fight record of 65 wins and only 5 losses. When his friend Steve McQueen suggested he try acting, Chuck brought those same instincts, precision, discipline, commitment to the screen. Films like Missing in Action, The Delta Force, and Walker, Texas Ranger turned him into a global icon of toughness. But away from the cameras, he spent decades quietly doing the work that mattered most, founding Kickstart, a non-profit program that brought martial arts into schools to help young people stay away from drugs and violence. Hundreds of thousands of children went through that program. Chuck Norris passed away on March 19, 2026, in Hawaii, surrounded by his family. He was 85 years old. He was funny, he was fierce, and he was, in ways that mattered far beyond any film, genuinely good. The world knew the legend. Those who knew him knew the man behind it was even better. Lou Holtz, age 89, died. March 4, 2026. Born Louis Leo Holtz in Follansbee, West Virginia, in January 1937, Lou grew up with a deep love of football and an even deeper belief that the sport could teach young men something about character, discipline, and what it means to push through when everything is telling you to stop. He played at Kent State, graduated in 1959, and then spent years learning the craft of coaching from the ground up, working as an assistant at Iowa, Connecticut, South Carolina, Ohio State, and William & Mary before finally getting his first head coaching job. What followed was one of the most extraordinary careers in the history of college football. Lou Holtz led 6 different programs to bowl games, something no other coach in history has done. He guided 4 different schools into the final top 20 national rankings. He was named National Coach of the Year not once but twice. But his greatest chapter came at Notre Dame. From 1986 to 1996, he transformed the Fighting Irish into a powerhouse, winning a national championship in 1988 with a perfect 12-0 season, taking the team to 9 consecutive bowl games, and compiling a record of 100 wins against just 30 losses and 2 ties. He was voted into the College Football Hall of Fame in 2008. Lou Holtz passed away on March 4, 2026, in Orlando, Florida. He was 89 years old. His wife Elizabeth had predeceased him in 2020, after 59 years of marriage. He never promised easy. He promised worth it. And every team he ever coached knew exactly what he meant. Ronyell Whitaker, age 46, died. February 22, 2026. Rondale DaSean Whitaker was born on March 19, 1979 in Norfolk, Virginia. He was a football player, a defensive back who earned third-team All-American honors in college in 2001, and then worked his way into professional football as an undrafted free agent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in 2003. He eventually found his way to the Minnesota Vikings and the Detroit Lions, and made enough of an impression playing in NFL Europe to earn All-NFL Europe honors in 2006. When his playing days were behind him, Ronyell did something that many former athletes talk about but fewer actually do: he stayed. He stayed involved in the game, coaching young athletes and investing in the next generation. He worked in real estate while spending his time on the sidelines, helping kids develop the same skills and discipline that football had given him. He was known by the nickname Deuce, a name that carried a quiet kind of strength. Ronyell Whitaker passed away on February 22, 2026. He was just 46 years old. The cause of his death was not publicly disclosed, and his family has asked for privacy. Some people build their legacy in front of millions. Others build it one young athlete at a time. Ronyell Whitaker chose the second path, and the people whose lives he touched are better for it. Barret Robbins, age 52, died. Late March 2026. Barret Glenn Robbins was born in Houston, Texas, in August 1973. He was a big man, 6'2", built for the trenches, and from the moment he arrived at TCU it was clear he had the kind of talent that doesn't come around often. The Oakland Raiders saw it too, selecting him in the second round of the 1995 NFL Draft. He would go on to spend his entire 9-year professional career in silver and black, becoming one of the finest centers of his generation. In 2002, everything came together. Barret was named a first-team All-Pro. He made the Pro Bowl. The Raiders were headed to the Super Bowl, and Barret Robbins was one of the most important reasons why. And then, the night before that Super Bowl, something went wrong. Barret disappeared from the team hotel. He later explained that he had stopped taking his medication, triggering a mental health episode so severe that he had convinced himself, somehow, that the game had already been played and the Raiders had won. He was found and brought back, but he couldn't play. The Raiders lost 48-21. It was a turning point that Barret Robbins never fully moved past. He was later diagnosed with bipolar disorder and entered treatment, but the years that followed were difficult ones. His former teammate Tim Brown, one of the most respected voices in Raider Nation, was the first to share the news of his passing, saying that Barret had died peacefully in his sleep, and asking people to pray for his family. Barret Robbins passed away in late March 2026. He was 52 years old. He was a great football player. He was also a human being fighting a battle most people never saw. Both of those things are true, and both of them matter. Rondale Moore, age 25, died February 21, 2026. Born June 9, 2000 in New Albany, Indiana, Rondale grew up as a multi-sport standout who seemed to move through the world at a different speed than everyone else. He transferred to Trinity High School in Louisville and helped lead his team to a state football championship. Then he arrived at Purdue University, and as a true freshman in 2018, he did something almost nobody does. He immediately became one of the best players in the entire country. That freshman season, Rondale led the Big Ten with more than 1,200 receiving yards, scored 14 total touchdowns, and won the Paul Hornung Award, given to college football's most versatile player. He was only 18 years old. The NFL took notice. The Arizona Cardinals selected him in the second round of the 2021 draft, and his professional career was underway. But injuries, the cruel and indiscriminate companion of so many athletic careers, kept finding him. A knee in Atlanta, another knee in Minnesota. Season after season lost to rehabilitation and recovery. Through all of it, those who knew him described the same person. Humble, soft-spoken, hard-working, proud of where he came from. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell said he was a humble, soft-spoken, and respectful young man who was proud of his Indiana roots. His college coach at Purdue called him a complete joy to coach. Rondale Moore passed away on February 21, 2026, in New Albany, Indiana. He was 25 years old. He had so much football left to play and so much life left to live. The NFL community mourned him as one of their own, and the people of New Albany lost a son who never forgot where he started. Matt Snell, age 84, died March 10, 2026. Born Matthew Snell in Garfield, Georgia on August 18, 1941, Matt grew up to become one of the most important players on one of the most famous teams in NFL history. He was a fullback for the New York Jets, a punishing runner who brought toughness and intelligence to every snap, and he was a key part of the team that rewrote what was possible in professional football. On January 12, 1969, the New York Jets faced the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III. The Colts were heavy favorites. Almost no one believed the Jets could win, but Namath had guaranteed a victory, and it was Matt Snell who made good on that guarantee with his feet. He scored the only touchdown the Jets would need that day, rushing for 121 yards in what became one of the most stunning upsets in sports history. That game didn't just change the Jets. It changed the entire landscape of professional football, legitimizing the AFL and setting the stage for the merger that created the modern NFL. Matt Snell played for the Jets from 1964 to 1972, and after his playing days, he remained connected to the sport that had defined his life. He passed away on March 10, 2026, in East Meadow, Long Island, New York. He was 84 years old. He is survived by his wife Sharon and their children. History books record what Namath said before Super Bowl III. It was Matt Snell who went out onto that field and proved it. Quentin Philippe, age 29, died early 2026. Quentin Philippe was 29 years old and the captain of Annecy-le-Vieux Rugby Club in France. He was more than just a player, he was the kind of leader that teams are built around. Passionate about strategy, obsessed with statistics, and gifted with the rare ability to inspire people not through volume but through example. Under his captaincy, his club had one of the finest seasons in their history, winning the Alpes Committee and Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes League titles, reaching the semi-finals of the French Championship, and earning promotion to Fédéral 3. He was the heartbeat of everything they achieved. After a weekend match was postponed, Quentin and two of his closest friends, Hugo Neuville, 31, and Alexis Rassat, 35, decided to spend the day skiing in Cormier, Italy. It was the kind of decision that anyone might make. A free afternoon, a mountain, good company. An avalanche found them on that slope. The snow moved faster than any of them could have known. All three men were caught. All three were lost. His club statement said it all. Our courageous and devoted captain has passed away. We are heartbroken. His presence will be deeply missed, yet we take comfort in knowing he will continue to watch over his friends from above. Quentin Philippe was 29 years old. He had already built something extraordinary, and there was so much more ahead of him. Some losses don't make sense, they just have to be held.